going on? What's going on, everybody? I gotta fix this tie. It is the wrong way. Put it on the wrong way. Fix it after the show. Make sure this thing is right. Gotta make sure I'm right. Gotta put it the other way. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, good people? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Peace and love. Peace and love. What you talking about, man? Facebook made a change. Queensbridge dailies. Okay. We can't do. Oh, can't do that one. Okay. Edit. Nope, I didn't mean that one. My bad. I meant to go here. What's going on, good people? Peace and love. How y'all doing? Facebook, how y'all doing? YouTube, how y'all doing? Instagram, what is happening? Peace and love. It's your boy, LaShawn Sugar Marston. You are tuned into another episode of SR Daily. Today is episode 292. 292, just 8 more episodes. 292. Yes, 292. 292, just 8 more episodes until another milestone episode 300. Which today we're going to make a decision one way or another to go with this location or scrap it altogether, do something completely different. But what's going on, good people? How y'all doing out there in the world? It is 9:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you are in LA or the West Coast, it is 6:01 a.m., 3 hours earlier. If you are anywhere else in the world, well, not anywhere else, but if you are across the water, anywhere else further east, it is later in the day, right, afternoon or evening, and I hope that your day has been going well. This hat is no good no more. Gotta get man, my World Healer hat, cheap material, bad stuff, sweat, rust is, man, terrible. Terrible. Can't wear this hat today. I was gonna wear this hat to this event. Can't wear it. Gotta make some outfit adjustments, gotta fix the tie when the show is over, change the hat when the show is over. Good thing I got a black and white one. I don't think that one works. I think I am going to wear a completely different hat. All right, completely different hat, not my World Healer hat today. But these are the challenges, these are the obstacles, these are not even obstacles, the challenges. These are the things that happen when you are navigating, when you are building, when you are growing, when you're pushing yourself. But we are going to hit the share button real fast, right? If you can, please share this live, share this video, share this show with 5 to 10 people on your list who may be interested in tuning in. Don't hold the show to yourself. Please hit that share button, share it to your story, share it to your page, share it wherever you could possibly share it. And we are going to get this show started. Once again, I'm your host, LaShawn Sugar Marston. You are tuned into episode 292 of SR Daily. SR Daily with personality meets enlightenment. We got some pretty cool topics to talk about today. Let's pull up news. Let's pull up some news. Got a crazy couple of things happen yesterday. Last couple of days, last week, right? The things have been crazy. Things have been absolutely crazy so far this year. Year just started, right? We still got today and tomorrow left in January. January has been like a very long month. I thought, yeah, I was like, somebody's birthday was like 2 months ago. It was at the beginning of this month. I'm like, wow, that much happened. Time has been moving that slow, right? Which I'm grateful for. I'm grateful to be able to just catch time, right? Not have time get away. Time is, again, as I mentioned before on the show, our best friend. Time is always there, even when we don't have health, even when we are not feeling well. Time is there, right? As long as you have life, time is there. Even if when you don't have life, maybe your time is up, but somebody else's time is there, all right? Time just keeps on going. But we're going to start the show with our first segment today. Today's first segment is the phrase of the day, and the phrase is 4 simple words. But I think it is one of the most powerful phrases. It is one of the most important phrases that we can all say. I think we should adopt it more. More of us should adopt it and say it more. Peace be upon you. Peace be upon you. Or could just be peace. All right. That's what I wrote initially. I changed it just now to add be upon you because peace, that's what, when you greet someone, right? When you greet a loved one, when you greet a beloved, right? You wish them peace, right? The question of what's up. I remember going to the mosque years ago, right? Over a decade ago, going to Mosque 7C up in Harlem, right? I think it was 7C, or 7C might be in Brooklyn. Can't remember, but I was going mile 7. I think 7C is in Brooklyn and 7 is in Harlem. I remember going to the mosque up in Harlem with, our late great student minister Abdul Hafiz Muhammad. Right, he was the minister up there. He was the New York representative of the Nation of Islam, and Minister Louis Farrakhan. He said something. He said, when we greet each other, he said, you ask what's up, the sky, the ceiling, right? You ask what's up, this is what's going on, this is, but what do you want to leave with your people? Peace. You want to greet them in peace and leave them in peace. And so that's something that, classic Black folks used to say, right? Some of us still say it, right? But peace, 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 peace. Somebody texted me yesterday, peace, peace. Right? I text people, peace, peace, brother, peace, sister. How you doing? Peace and love, peace, right? Because that's what we want. Like, and people think that greeting in peace means that you're not a warrior, right? I've greeted somebody in peace and they're like, we're not at peace, we have war. I'm like, yeah, I know, but you still got to be at peace. You got to be internally within yourself at peace if you're going to win the war. Otherwise, you are just reacting. You are going off emotion. You are not totally centered. You are not in harmony with your own self, let alone the energies around you, right? And so peace be upon you. Very simple greeting, or as our Muslim brothers and sisters would say, assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you. That's how you want to greet your loved ones with peace, and you want to leave them with peace. And the Christian Bible, right? I think it's Matthew 10 speaks about, going into someone's home, right? Going into someone's home, going into someone's space, and if the space is good, allowing your peace to fall upon that space. But if the space is bad, if there's bad energy there, if there's bad vibrations there, then pick your peace up and take it and leave and go somewhere else, right? Like, don't go where there's not peace. Peace does not mean that there's not challenges. Peace does not mean that there's not struggles. Peace does not mean that there's no storm. No, that is not what peace means. Peace means being cool, being still in the midst of the storm, in the midst of the challenges, in the midst of the pain, in the midst of the turmoil, in the midst of the confusion. Is, can you be level-headed? Can you be calm, cool, and collected? Right? Smooth, right? That's what the S in Sugar Ray stands for, smooth. So peace be upon you, right? Let's stop greeting with the what's up, right? Don't ask people how you doing if you don't want to stay and listen, because they may have a story to tell you. You may say, how you doing? How are you? And they may be going through some things, right? So with respect to all people, right? With respect to everyone's time, simple greeting of peace. Peace, peace and love. Peace, brother, peace, sister. Peace be upon you. However you want to say, assalamu alaikum, right? Namaste, right? The divine in me, right, meets and greets the divine in you, right? Bows to the divine in you, right? Namaste, beloveds. But I think those greetings are more beneficial to us as a society, right? Not just Black folks, but to all of us to greet each other in peace, to come in peace and to leave in peace, right? I think those are more beneficial than the what's up, what's good, what's going on. Because again, somebody might have something and you might not have time to listen to what they got going on. All right. They may literally have a tragedy happening. They may have a crisis happening. Right. Yo, what's going on? Peace, God, peace, God, peace, God. What's going on? What's going on, good brother? Peace and love. Happy to see you here. Blessings. Thank you so much for tuning in on this Thursday morning. We are getting SRDaily episode 292 underway. But once again, peace be upon you. That is our phrase of the day. We're going to move right along to our second segment today. Our second segment is our need to know news of the day. And today's news is yesterday, man. Yesterday, something happened. We're going to go to CNN to read the news. Man. Yesterday, a passenger jet collided with an Army helicopter and no survivors are expected after a mid-air collision. This article is updated this morning, just 8 minutes ago, 9:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. What we know so far, no survivors likely. No one is believed to have survived the mid-air collision between an American Airlines jet plane and a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter last night in the Washington, D.C. area, the fire chief said Thursday. Recovery operation. Emergency authorities have switched to recovery effort after 28 bodies have so far been found, officials said. Officials are confident they will recover the bodies of those killed in the collision. The jet was carrying 64 people, while 3 soldiers were aboard the helicopter. athletes on board. Several members of the figure skating community were aboard the jet. U.S. figure skating said in a statement. Separately, Russia's state news agency said 2 world champion Russian figure skaters were on the plane. Whew, baby, this is tough. I am trying to find the exact. Wait, where is it? All right, let's read. Hold on. We gotta go to. Hold on. There are so many things coming out. All right, hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. We are not going to go to CNN. We are going to go to NBC. NBC has a better article. Live updates. All passengers feared dead after American Eagle jet. Where's the article? They're not giving me. They just got video. I saw it was the article. I didn't go through it in depth. They got a bunch of articles, right? They got a bunch of stuff going on. So no black boxes have been recovered from the crash scene. No black boxes have been recovered. What were the flight conditions at the time of the crash? Aviation Transportation Secretary. I'm trying to find a good article. I thought CNN had it, but CNN does not have the best article, right? Man, this is bad. This is really, really bad. Right. Let's read what happened. They just got mad updates. Right. I'm trying to find an actual article. It's just a bunch of updates. I mean, updates are necessary, right? But yeah, it's a tragedy. Like, how did this happen? Like, what were the flight conditions? Was there a miss? Like, something was missed? All right, here we go. Time magazine got something for us. Dozens are believed to be dead after a regional American Airlines flight operated by PSA Airlines collided with an Army helicopter in mid-air on Wednesday night when it was about to land at the Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. Some 300 responders have been deployed to the nearby Potomac River where the crash occurred to locate survivors, according to local officials. There has been no official announcement of the number of casualties, but in a briefing on Thursday morning, John Donnelly, chief of D.C. Fire and Emergency Medical Services, reported they recovered 27 bodies from the plane and 1 from the helicopter. We are now at a point where we are switching from a rescue operation to a recovery operation, Donnelly said. We don't believe there are any survivors. The commercial jet had 64 people aboard, while the Army helicopter had 3 people on board. District of Columbia Mayor Muriel Bowser said in a press conference early Thursday morning. The collision happened in one of the most monitored airspaces in the U.S. with its proximity to the White House, the U.S. Capitol, and other important government buildings. The cause of the collision remains unknown, and an investigation led by the National Transportation Safety Board is underway. Wednesday evening's incident is the U.S.'s first major commercial aviation incident in 16 years, following the Buffalo crash in 2009, which killed 49 aboard Colgan Air Flight 3407 and 1 on the ground. Flights in Reagan Airport have since been grounded and are expected to resume at 11 a.m. on Thursday at the earliest, according to an announcement. Here's what we know so far. What happened? According to a statement from the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, a regional jet operated by PSA Airlines, a subsidiary of American Airlines, had departed from Wichita, Kansas, and collided in midair with the U.S. Army Sikorsky H-60 Black Hawk helicopter while approaching Reagan Airport's runway 33 at around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time last night. Video of the supposed collision captured by an observation camera circulated on social media, showing 2 lit-up elements in the sky converging before exploding into a fireball. Air traffic controller audio, time retrieved from the live ATC.net revealed what happened moments before the collision. The tower had cleared the plane for landing on runway 33, but just seconds before the crash, an air traffic operator asked the helicopter with radio call sign Pat 25 if the commercial jet referred to as the CRJ was in sight. Pat 25, do you have the CRJ in sight? The air traffic operator said to the helicopter. After a brief pause, he said, Pat 25, pass behind the CRJ. Seconds later, gasp and a loud "oh" could be heard. Then, tower, did you see that? Later in the transmission feed, someone from the tower then said, I don't know if you caught earlier what happened, but there was a collision on the approach in the 3-3. We are going to be shutting down operations for the indefinite future. If you want to go back to the gate, highly suggest you guys coordinate with the company. Let me know what you want to do. In the news conference on the morning of Thursday, January 30th, with Mayor Browser and other D.C. officials, new Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy told reporters that the night sky was clear on the evening of the collision and that the flight patterns of both the aircraft and helicopter were, quote-unquote, standard. This is crazy. Duffy said that he and his team would not rest until we have answers for the families and for the flying public. Who was on board the helicopter? A U.S. Army spokesperson confirmed to Time that the helicopter had flown out of Fort Belvoir, an Army base in Virginia. According to a U.S. defense official speaking to CNN, the helicopter had a crew of 3 and was not carrying any VIPs. Joint Task Force National Capital Region Media Chief Heather Cherise told CBS News that the helicopter was on a training flight and had belonged to B Company 12th Aviation Battalion. Man. Who was on a passenger jet? American Airlines told Time there were 60 passengers and 4 crew members on board American Eagle Flight 5342 and that they are in contact with authorities and assisting with emergency response efforts. Russian state news agency TASS reported that Evgenia Shishkova and Vadim Nomov, former world champions in pairs figure skating who have since become coaches, were aboard the plane. The U.S. Figure Skating Organization told NBC News early Thursday morning that several athletes, coaches, and family members were also on board, returning from a camp held alongside the U.S. Figure Skating Championships in Wichita. We are devastated by this unspeakable tragedy and hold the victims' families closely in our hearts, the organization said. The Association of Flight Attendants, CWA, a union of over 50,000 flight attendants across 20 airlines, said in a statement that 2 of its members were working in the flight. We ask the public to keep the families in your thoughts and respect efforts to get information to loved ones first as everyone clings to hope for survivors, the statement read. What do we know about the passenger jet? According to the AP, Flight 5342 was flying to Reagan National at an altitude of about 400 feet and about 140 miles per hour when it lost altitude rapidly over the Potomac River, citing data from the plane's radio transponder. The transponder then stopped transmitting about 2,400 feet away from the runway, approximately in the middle of the river. Wow. Flight 5342, which flies from Wichita, Kansas, used a CRJ 700 plane from Canadian aircraft manufacturing company Bombardier. PSA Airlines began operating CRJ 700 flights in 2002. The plane has a capacity of 65 seats. American Airlines CEO Robert Isom told reporters that the captain of the flight and the first officer had spent 6 and 2 years respectively with the airline. What is the status of the search and recovery efforts? According to Duffy, at the Thursday morning briefing, the 2 aircrafts have been located in 3 different sections of waist-deep water, and recovery will continue through Friday. He went on to say the NTSB and the FAA will work together to, quote-unquote, analyze the aircraft. Donnelly said he expects that recovery options will go on for days as weather conditions are extremely rough and dangerous for the responders. They're dealing with relatively windy conditions. The U.S. Geological Survey logged that the water in the Potomac River near Washington, D.C. was around 34 degrees Fahrenheit around the time of the crash and has since gone down to 32 degrees as search and recovery operations continue. Donnelly explained that divers were having difficulty because the Potomac River is not lit and has dark and murky waters. Donnelly said that the wind had carried debris down the river, which would take time to recover, having spread out the span of the recovery operations. At Thursday morning's press conference, Isom told reporters that family assistance centers have been set up in the D.C. area and in Wichita, Kansas. Wow, man. Last piece of the article. What have U.S. officials said about the collision? President Donald Trump was fully briefed on Wednesday night following a collision between the passenger jet and Army helicopter. He thanked first responders in a statement, but later posted on his Truth Social account that the incident was a bad situation that looks like it should have been prevented. Duffy, who was just confirmed Tuesday, said he had spoken with Trump and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, as well as the governors of Kansas and Virginia. We are going to offer full support to those on the ground, to the mayor, but also to the NTSB, who is going to be conducting an investigation in this matter, Duffy said in the press briefing. Also in the briefing was Senator Jerry Moran, who said, I know that flight. I've flown it many times myself. I lobbied American Airlines to begin having a direct, nonstop flight service to DCA. He said the crash was a very personal circumstance, as in Kansas and particularly particularly in Wichita. We're going to know people who are on this flight, know their family members, know somebody. Man, this is bad. Mayor Browser, speaking at the briefing, said she is extremely sorry for the families who are experiencing loss. My sorrow for all of the people and crew on the plane and our military personnel on the helicopter is very deep. Bowser said, we are going to recover our fellow citizens. In a post on X, Vice President J.D. Vance encouraged people to say a prayer for those involved in the mid-air collision. We're monitoring the situation, but for now, let's hope for the best. House Speaker Mike Johnson, in his statement, said he was saddened to learn about the horrific tragedy at Reagan National Airport and sought for everyone's prayers. Democratic Kansas Governor Laura Kelly said she was aware of the crash and that her thoughts go out to those involved. Holy freaking cow. What a tragedy. Like, can you imagine? And it's crazy because, like, it's damn is right, brother Sefu. Damn is right? As I've been on planes, many planes, as I've, watched many planes fly, I've always wondered, or I've been a little bit nervous that sometimes you see planes flying too close to each other. You're like, they could crash. They could crash, and someday they will. And last night, the plane and the helicopter crashed. Absolute tragedy. I send prayers. I send prayers to the souls lost, to the lives lost, right? May their spirits rest peacefully. I pray for their families, their parents, their children, their spouses, their friends, their family, their siblings. And take a moment of silence. Man, tragedy. What's going on, Candles for a Cause? Peace and love. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let us move right along to our third segment. Today's third segment is very simple. Our tip is to write a book. Write a book. Even if you think your life isn't extremely interesting, write a book, right? There are people out there who will learn something from your experience, whether it's your children, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your friends, whether it's your parents, whether it's people not even born yet. You writing a book about your life, your experience, what you've observed, right? It could be a memoir, autobiography, could be a book about something that you're passionate about, could be a book about crocheting, could be a book about politics, could be a book about whatever you have interest in, right? I would encourage you to write a book about your life, right? It doesn't have to be a long book. It doesn't have to be a big book. It can be a short book, different parts of your life, write about, because I promise you, you have something that people can use. There is something in your story. There is something in your life. There is some wisdom that you have, right? Like, your life is shrouded with nuggets of wisdom that folks, those in your family, those who are friends, those who you work with, and those not even born yet can benefit from, right? And even if you never actually put it out there, even if you write a book and never put it out there, I promise you that writing a book will reveal to you wisdom that you can use to advance your life, to further your life. Like, even if just you use it, right? Even if you use it, just you by yourself, right? Even if it's just that, then that is enough. That is absolutely enough, right? Write a book, right? Write a book, man. It could be a book about, a specific incident in your life. It doesn't have to be about your whole life. It could be a book about elementary school. It could be a book about your time working in the hospital. It could be a book about your hospital visit. It could be a book about your favorite trip, right? It could be a book about anything. I want to shout out my brother, Raymond Kelsey, who's not on this trip currently, but he started writing a book, right? To leave as a guide for his children, right? To leave as a guide for his children and his grandchildren, and those who come after him in his bloodline, like the words of Raymond Kelsey, right? Like this is his words. This is his perspective. This is his thoughts on religion, on spirituality, on family, on God, on politics, on health, on all of the things, right? I wrote a book to my daughter, right? Many other people have written books. Write a book. Sefu said, this is an important task. I will work on it on my next trip abroad. Write a book. Write a book about the trip, right? Write a book about meeting your current lady, right? Like, write a book. I'm going to say it again. Write a book. Again, it doesn't have to be a long book. It doesn't have to contain everything in your life. I know you may have experienced some things where you might not want to talk about. Cool. But there is something in your life that you can write about. It doesn't have to be sad, doesn't have to be tragic, can be happy, can be joyful, can be writing a book about your wedding, can be writing a book about the first time becoming a parent, can be a book about like the time you lost money, right? It could be a book about literally, it could be a book about absolutely anything. Absolutely anything. So write a book, please. That is the tip of the day, is that every single person, all of you watching, all of you who will watch, everyone who will hear this, you have something to offer the world. You have something that can make the world a better place. You have something that can improve the lives of people. Again, close to you, your family, your friends, those who you know and care about, as well as those who you don't know, right? Those who you don't know, who you might not care about, or you might not be aware of them. You can benefit them. Something in your story can help them in their life, right? And that's what it's about. Each one teach one, as they say, right? Happy, thankful, therapeutic, and thriving Thursday, my love. Peace and love. Mona, love on the check-in. Peace and love, brother Sefusi and Kofa. This is an important task. I'll work on it on my next trip abroad. Yes, sir. Let us move right along to our fourth and final segment before we get out of here. And again, that tip was inspired by this current book I am reading, Spirit Brew. Right, Spirit Brew. You see, I'm currently reading Spirit Brew by Anthony Holdump. Holdump. I don't know how to pronounce it. I need to ask him how to pronounce his last name. But a friend of mine's autographed it for me last year. Right, last year we met at my art exhibit. Right, met at my art exhibit. It's an autograph from him. Right, met at my art exhibit last year. I did the LIC Arts Open exhibit. Hungry for Justice was the exhibit. He and his daughter came. His daughter's an artist, who she's the subject of this book for the most part, right? Well, she's not the subject of the book, but she's in this book, and a lot of his experience is related to his relationship with his daughter, right? But she had, super dope artwork in the studio across from mine, and on our opening reception, they both came. They, came into my exhibit. They looked at the artwork. Shout out to Uncut Art, who had paintings in my exhibit. Looked at the photos. They looked at the outfit that I wore during my 2-week hunger strike. All right. They watched the short documentary, heard me talk. And then afterwards, Anthony, the author of this book, and I started chatting, and he wanted to write about me in his next book. So I'm not in this book. I will be in the following book coming, right? He wanted to interview me, and we did absolutely do that. But when, through the interview process over the phone, like things weren't, he was missing some things from my story, right? He wasn't getting it correct. So I was like, let's meet up in person. He's like, cool, meet me over here, right? So I met him, not too far from where he lives, right? Midtown Manhattan. And we met at like this lounge, right? Just so happened the lounge was attached to a movie theater. The day I met him was the same day I met with, the day I met with him, right? And he gave me this book as well as 2 of his other books autographed, was the same day I met Brian Schultz, who was the CEO, owner of Look Cinemas, right? Where, how that relationship happened. I ended up doing an incredible, movie debut, release, sold out the movie theater last July. That was super dope. But I wanted to read this book, right? Because this is the build of the day. The build of the day is on psychedelics, the power of psychedelics, and specifically ayahuasca, right? And I'm going to read some stuff from his book. So this book, again, is Spirit Brew, a man's search for love, peace, and purpose through ayahuasca. A man's search for love, peace, and purpose through ayahuasca. What's going on, Google world? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Your fave, peace and love, peace and love. Thanks for tuning in on the IG, right? So ayahuasca. Right, ayahuasca is a psychedelic brew made up from the infusion of various plants native to the Amazon rainforest. The indigenous people of the Amazon have used it for hundreds, if not thousands of years. How they discovered the synergistic properties of the plants remains a mystery. Always a mystery how people learned about these things, right? It's incredible. I read that it has a power to obliterate the ego, making it go quiet, allowing one to truly let go. Once this happened, the sacred medicine did its thing, revealing a vast universal reality unlike anything you'd ever experienced or could imagine. People who consumed ayahuasca reported having spiritual revelations regarding their purpose on earth, the true nature of the universe, as well as deep, increased perception, insight, and creativity. It's also reported that individuals can gain access to higher spiritual dimensions and is viewed as one of the most effective tools for enlightenment. It's sometimes referred to as the vine of death, not because anyone who takes it dies, but because it kills the ego. It's also known to cure depression and kill any parasites in the body. Of course, it is illegal in the U.S., right? I think, so many things that are absolutely beneficial are illegal in the U.S. That's trash. It's terrible, right? It's illegal because, right, it's legal in Ecuador, Peru, Brazil, other places, but the DMT in it is illegal. It makes it illegal, right? It makes it a substance or Schedule 1 drug. But yeah, ayahuasca, man, like I've done it, right? I've done psychedelics, I've done ayahuasca, I've obviously done mushrooms, I've done what's this? Ecstasy, right? LSD. I forgot the initials, right? The best one, my favorite, like the most powerful, potent experience I've ever had was with DMT, right? Bufo, right? Toad medicine, right? The freaking 5-MeO DMT too, not just the DMT, the 5-MeO DMT, which is probably the most powerful psychedelic on the planet. All right, I had that experience back in 2020 and literally, or 2019, and literally every year since then, my life has improved, right? Relationships have improved. I've gotten better. I've gotten stronger, healthier, sharper, more creative, and all of that good stuff. So get into psychedelics if you haven't, right? If you are afraid, why, right? What are you afraid of, right? As they say, there's nothing to fear but fear itself, all right? Yeah, man, like tremendous effects. Like all psychedelics, right, have been known to have, tremendous healing effects, right, for your mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional well-being. So look into it, right? I ain't telling you what to do, right? But look into it. Follow your heart, follow your spirit. Put that fear to the side. If you really want to heal, like go deep. Go deep, go deep, go deep. There's some people who are having a trouble crying. You may need a ceremony, right? You may need a ceremony because you're having blockages, because crying is a natural thing. You may be having blockages, right, in you that you need a ceremony. You need more than just talk therapy. You need more than group consulting. You need more than the art. You need medicine, right? Like medicine, like this natural medicine is very real, it's very valid, it's very strong, it's very potent. And with that, guys, that is the show. We are going to get out of here. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I got to make a run. Thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, I'm your boy, LaShawn Sherry Marston, host of SR Daily. Today is episode 292. SR Daily is where personality meets enlightenment. Please do join us right back here tomorrow. Same time, same place, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Instagram Live here on the phone. Tomorrow is episode 293 as we close out week 59. Next week is week 60. We are moving right along. I'm extremely excited, extremely grateful. Once again, should have 100% confirmation today with where the 300th episode is going to be. Grateful for this, super excited, looking forward. Remember, it ain't getting knocked down, that's the problem, it's staying down. So get up. The power is in you. As always, be kind to yourself and be kind to each other. Peace and love.